Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Couch Sports Talk Show. We're winding down to the end of the season, and that always brings up playoffs. This year, I think, is actually kind of a crazy playoffs because so many things can happen, especially now that there's an 18-week schedule. We're barely going into week 18. Um, Give me your thoughts about the season so far and who you think is actually going to get the last couple of wild card seats.
Um, well, I feel like NFC seems pretty set, to be honest. Like give or take, like a few different scenarios. The Saints, pretty much. I'm pretty sure the Saints are the only ones that could make it in for the 49ers. Like if the 49ers lose, then the Saints get in.
Yeah.
But other than that, the NFC seems pretty locked up, except for like the Rams and the Cardinals could swap spots. But I feel like that really doesn't make a difference. That's basically whoever the Cowboys would play
Yeah.
if that ends up happening. And then the AFC is really where it gets crazy. I feel like the whole entire playoff picture for the AFC is kind of wild. Even if you take the people who are already in there,
Yeah.
altogether, it's a wild scenario.
Yeah, it really is. Like I know the Bengals, the Bills, and the Patriots all have the same record. So literally three through five could switch, and the 1 and 2 seed could switch,
Yeah.
depending on week 18. And I think that's honestly like the crazy thing about this season is now you're adding a 17th game, and so many things could happen. Because if the season were to end right now with just the regular 17-week schedule, I mean, obviously everything would be locked up. You would see uh Tennessee with the number one spot. You would see the Chargers and the Colts with the last two spots. The Raiders and Steelers would just be out.
Yeah.
Uh, but I mean, now that the 18th week is in, I honestly think it's going to change a whole bunch of stuff, especially with who plays who. I mean, you got the Bengals going against the Browns. That could always cause trouble for the Bengals because the Browns,
Right.
even though the Browns aren't really a good team, they could upset somebody and
Yeah.
kind of ruin their playoff mentality.
Well, yeah, at least like their playoff picture. I feel like the
Yeah.
Bengals, like to me, the Bengals are the scariest team in the playoffs right now.
Yes, I 100% agree. I mean,
The way that Joe Burrow has that offense running
yes,
is insane. I feel like he could, like, they might as well be the number one seed.
might as well be. I honestly, I didn't see the Bengals doing this well. Like I had them kind of like in the middle of the pack, but the
Yeah,
way
well, I mean, they flashed earlier in the season,
yeah,
and then they kind of dropped off. But it seems like they figured it out these past couple weeks, and then they went and dropped, what was it, 520 some yards on the Ravens,
yeah,
and then this last, like, they just been going off. And then,
yeah,
like, if they can keep this up, I mean, they knocked off the Chiefs.
yeah,
That's everybody's pick coming out the AFC right now. The Chiefs, the Titans, 11-5. If they can get Derrick Henry back, then it kind of throws something in the mix. But the Chiefs were like the top dogs, and they weren't able to go in there and knock them off. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Joe Burrow, like, he looks like we snubbed him off our top 5 QB list.
Honestly, and I feel so bad now because I had so many other quarterbacks. I had Kirk Cousins in there, and Joe Burrow like just totally like slipped my mind, and he's proven to be not only comeback player of the year, kind of over Dak Prescott, but now he's making a run for like, he's putting his team up there to be a Super Bowl contender. Like the Titans, the Titans are good. They might get Derrick Henry back. I know he just got activated off the IR today. But the Titans would have to get back into that groove. I honestly don't see the Titans going that far. I know everybody else does. I don't see them going past like the divisional round. The Chiefs, they could go up. They could get up there. But what's going to happen if they run into the Bengals? What's going to happen if they run into the Titans?
Well, the thing is like the Titans are playing like good football right now.
Yeah.
Like they're playing clean games. They're not making mistakes.
Yep.
They're winning their games that they need to win.
Right.
And they're doing it without like mistake-free football. The Chiefs are who the Chiefs are. Everybody knows what you're getting out of a Chiefs game. The Bills, I feel like they're just like the better team in that division. So like they're like easily like the ones coming out, but I feel like they're not who everybody thought they were going to be this season. Like
Yeah.
people had them going all the way to the championship.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, going back to last year and the year before that, that Bills team is not the same this year. Like for some reason they can't get the run game going, which they never really been like a run first team anyways.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to have that balance, and the Bills just don't have it. Like I honestly don't see them going far. I kind of see them getting knocked out.
Week 17, they had a flash of a run game, but it's hard to determine whether it's like a thing that's going to continue or if it's just that week and they just happen to pop off.
Right.
So is it something that they can actually keep up? Because it seems that for the past few weeks, like Matt Breida can't stay healthy.
Right.
And that's like their go-to guy. And if he can't stay on the field, then like you're stuck with a second string, third string, rotating fucking running back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody want to go into the playoffs with rotating fucking running backs. You want that one guy who's going to get it done. Like the Titans, they're getting Derrick Henry back. Right. The Chiefs, they got Williams. The Bengals, they got Mixon. The Patriots are pretty much the only team who has like a revolving backfield and is successful with it.
Yeah, the Patriots, I mean, that's literally the Patriots' identity, though. That's the way Bill Belichick likes to run his offense. Like you said, like they're literally the only team that could do that. And with the Bills, I mean, when you rely so much on just, pass-heavy offense, there's going to be teams that are going to be able to stop that.
Yeah.
You got to have a well-balanced team. And honestly, the only team right now in the AFC that does have that is the Bengals.
Yeah.
But
100%. Unless like Mac Jones can like just play a clean game.
Yeah.
And other than that, I feel like the Bengals are the best team coming out the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, if everything stands the way it is right now, and the Patriots play the Bills in that first round, I see the Patriots beating the Bills. Honestly.
But yeah.
Yeah, I see them, beating the Bills and going to that divisional round where they're either going to be playing, the Chiefs or the Titans, realistically. And they could actually make a deep run. Like you said, they play clean football. They have a Hall of Fame coach. They have a quarterback who understands his assignment and his role on that offense, along with the receivers, along with the running backs, along with that defense. People like to sleep on the Patriots. Patriots still got a top defense.
Yeah. Well, they're known for they're known for their running backs, but they're also known for having like a great defense every single year. Where like their offense doesn't have to put up a lot of points because their defense is keeping points off the board.
Right.
They had trouble against the Bills the last time they played them, but I feel like that was just like Josh Allen was coming in and he was like, "Y'all not going to beat me this time."
Right. Yeah. He's like, I ain't going again.
Yeah. He was like, y'all just basically ran the fuck out the ball the last time. So right now, like, we're just going to take this game over so we can get ours back.
Yeah.
I feel like the wild card teams, like the Patriots, like, I feel like they don't even deserve to be a wild card team. I would rather have like the Bills as a wild card.
Honestly. Yeah.
But the Colts, I feel like the Colts aren't really going to do much. Like Jonathan Taylor, that was like their offense this year.
Yeah. And it's like, you take him out. Okay. What do you have? Carson Wentz isn't reliable. He's a decent quarterback, but he's not one that's going to take you deep into the playoffs,
Right.
So the Colts, I see them getting knocked out that first round, honestly.
Yeah.
The Chargers, they can surprise you and beat one of the top teams. Will they? No. They're just too young. They're too inexperienced. Their defense is shaky. You kind of just it's kind of one of those things where it's like everything has to go right in that playoff game in order for them to win.
Yeah. It's definitely the Chargers and the Colts are the underdogs.
Yes, 100%. 100%. And I honestly don't see them going past the wild card round, realistically.
Yeah, and that's even if they make it, because the Raiders played them this week too. So the Raiders might knock their ass out.
Right. So yeah, the Raiders still have a chance, and honestly, the Steelers still have a chance. So the Raiders, like we said before, they need the Colts and the Chargers to lose.
I really hope the Steelers don't make it.
That's honestly gonna be interesting, honestly, if the Steelers do.
I feel like that's a waste of a playoff spot.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
It's such an easy win. Yeah, it's such
right?
an easy win for the Chiefs or the Titans, depending on what happens this week. But that's such an easy win.
Yeah.
And like that's honestly like, I don't know, Alabama playing a high school team.
Yeah.
Like the Steelers, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs 100%.
Not at all.
They should have got knocked out. They honestly should have lost that game against the Lions to give them a losing record.
Yeah. And then I feel like the only team that I feel like is like good to go is like the Packers, to be honest.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
As a Bears fan, I hate that, but like I feel like they're the only team that's like sitting right now where like they can sit everybody week 18 and like just get ready for the playoffs and then just have like those couple weeks off and then just pick right back up.
Yep.
I mean, are they gonna sit motherfucker? I wouldn't, just because it's football. I want my guy to play, but
I think Aaron Rodgers said he wanted to play.
Where like they could.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers definitely said he wanted to play. I think he just said it like 2 days ago. He's like, I want to play that game. But like, if I'm the Packers, of course I'm sitting everybody. Like, I'm not even risking it.
Why would you sit people though? Like, when you sit, like, to me, the way I look at it is, if you sit people, like Belichick doesn't sit people.
Right.
No matter what their record has ever been, like, you're a football player. Like, I don't know if you watch like Tom Brady's documentary that's on Hulu, but it like goes into detail about how Belichick feels about like sitting his players and like what they should do. Like you're paid to play football. Why wouldn't you go out there and play football? No matter what your record is, like you got a game to play. You got a show to put on. So like get your ass out there and go play your game. Yeah.
No, I totally get it. But
like, I don't it just doesn't make sense to me, because like then you could like knock off chemistry.
Yeah.
Like obviously injuries are always a thing, but like you could go into the first week of the playoffs, or like, well, they're gonna have a bye, but like you can go into after your bye week, first play of the game, Aaron Rodgers could get hurt.
That's true. Yeah. And honestly, now thinking about it, you don't want your starters to have 2 bye weeks.
Right.
They're gonna get rusty. They're gonna, like you said, they're gonna lose momentum. They're gonna lose chemistry. It would be smart for the Packers to start them so that way they don't lose that momentum, because they're hot right now.
Yeah.
Like the Packers, they could honestly beat anybody in the entire NFL right now.
Yeah. And I mean, and their last game is against the Lions.
Yeah. So it's like, what really are you risking?
Right. I mean, like, obviously the Lions are going to come to play, but at the same time,
are they though?
I mean, the Lions, I feel like the Lions, like, what was the score for their game last game? I'm pretty sure the Lions didn't get blown out.
It was up there though. It was definitely up there.
But I feel like either way, like the Lions aren't going to come and like not play.
Yeah.
It'll probably be like a practice game for the Packers, but like the Lions are going to still fucking come to play. They ain't playing that shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be an easy game regardless. I think that's going to be a game for them, for at least their defense to gain momentum and kind of like just pound the shit out of the Lions.
Yeah.
But as far as their offense, it's like, okay, just run the ball the entire game. Don't risk any receivers getting hurt. Yeah, still start them, whatever. So that way, they still, like I said, they don't get 2 bye weeks, but I would say just take it as an easy week and do the bare minimum to beat the Lions.
Right.
But as far as the NFC, Packers are going to take it. I hate to say it. I'm a Cowboys fan. I want to see my Cowboys go deep into the playoffs, but the Cowboys are not a Super Bowl contender. I know a lot of people, they're like, oh my God, their defense is so amazing. Oh, their offense, they got one of the top offenses. Yes, they do have one of the top defenses, if not the best defense in the league, but their offense is not clicking right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, when are you going to start clicking? Are you going to start clicking week 18? Are you going to start clicking the wildcard game, divisional round game, conference championship game? Like, when the hell are you guys going to start clicking?
Well, I feel like people thought that they had it figured out, like at the beginning of the season. Like they played against
and they did.
Thought that like you were watching the 2 best teams in the NFC play.
Yeah.
And then like down the road, like you seen them go down to the Broncos, and then it was kind of like it seemed like people kind of figured out who Dak Prescott is.
Yeah, that they completely depleted their whole momentum as an offensive team, and the whole rest of the year, the Cowboys have been dependent on their defense to take them to
It seems like Dak Prescott is like playing scared.
He is 100%,
like
100%.
Like he's not putting as much on the ball as he was before.
Yeah.
Where, like his passes just don't seem as accurate. They don't seem like they're going as far. They just seem like it just like seems like he's not confident that he's putting the ball where it needs to be put.
Right.
Which if you watch a lot of his highlights, they're not. Receivers are having to like make plays on the ball, which is like it's their job. But at the same time, like if you put those like that ball where it's supposed to be, the play it could lead to a bigger play.
Yeah.
But
I totally agree.
Low, throwing them too high, making the receivers not like they're basically have to like dive for the ball.
Yeah.
Or like drop to the ground for the ball when they could pick up an extra 10, 15 yards.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them.
It seems like they can't really get their run game going either, because Zeke in the past like few weeks, he's only had like, I mean, he's getting over fucking 10 rush attempts a game.
Yeah.
But he's not putting up many yards.
No, he's not. And I think they're relying on kind of both of them, Elliott and Pollard, but like, when one isn't producing, I feel like the other one is kind of like having to be like, okay, well, now I'm being forced to pick up the slack, and it's not really working out, because they kind of like self-identify themselves as a 2 running back offense.
Yeah. But I feel like when you do something like that, like I understand that like there's teams that are successful with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like Ezekiel Elliott is the type of running back who gets better throughout the game.
He does. He honestly does.
So when you give them that change of pace back, that's not going to hit you as hard as Ezekiel Elliott is going to hit you, because he's trying to like run through you.
Yeah.
Pollard is that dance around type. He's just fast.
Elusive. Yeah.
Right. He's getting around you. He's trying to take it upfield. Zeke is going right through you. Yeah. He's going to do that all game until you're tired of hitting him.
Yeah.
So then he's going to start picking up his yards. But like when you give the defense that break, it just seems like they can't, like he can't get going because he's not hitting people like he was in his first couple seasons.
Right. I mean, even 2 years ago.
Granted, he was injured.
Yeah.
But I mean, who knows what we're going to get out of the Cowboys in the playoffs?
Right.
He said he's going to be 100% by playoffs, but is Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore going to give him the plays that he needs to get going for the playoffs, or are they going to try and do the most and try and run that? It seems like every single drive they're alternating running backs, which I feel like they should not be doing that. It should maybe every 2 or 3 drives alternate running backs. Mm-hmm. Like the Packers seem like they have it down.
Oh yeah, they're riding AJ Dillon. They're riding AJ Dillon. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they ride AJ Dillon, and they're like, okay, this drive we're gonna ride Aaron Jones.
Right.
And that's honestly what the Cowboys need to do. 2 years ago, before Dak got hurt, Ezekiel Elliott was averaging between 20 to 30 rushing attempts a game.
Right.
He's getting 30 rushing attempts a game. He's giving you 100 yards. He's giving you 1 or 2 touchdowns.
For sure.
Every single time. And now when you take that away from him, and now you're kind of like, interrupting his zone, his momentum, his mentality, it's kind of like, okay, well, now he's giving you 10 rushing attempts a game where he's only averaging 3 to 4 yards an attempt.
You're like, why they not giving me the ball, man?
Right. I'm not saying like he's aggravated about it, but like you could tell that there's a major difference from Ezekiel Elliott this year than 2 years ago. Last year obviously was different because Dak got hurt and they couldn't really use the play action like they've been using, and that definitely helped them and helped Ezekiel Elliott be kind of the superstar that he is on the Cowboys offense. But now that you're taking away not only his touches, but his snaps, like when he's not out on the field, now you're taking that away from him. And now it's kind of messing with him mentally and like his whole momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's so much messes with him mentally because he seems like their chemistry on offense seems fine. It just seems like they can't get like into like a groove.
Right.
But like the Cowboys offense as a whole, I mean, besides Amari Cooper, for whatever reason, he felt like he wasn't getting the fucking ball enough. But I mean, like, you got to catch it when it. So like, there's that. But other than that, like, I feel like nobody else is really frustrated with what's going on. I just feel like Ezekiel Elliott has the opportunity, or he has the skill set to be the number one back in the Cowboys offense.
Yeah.
But this won't give him the keys.
Right. Yeah.
They want to run that that double running back, and I feel like it's unnecessary.
It's totally unnecessary. And I honestly think that's going to be the reason why the Cowboys don't go far in the playoffs, is mainly because of that.
Yeah.
You gotta stick with your one guy who has proven time and time again that he can get the job done. And I feel like if they do that, then they have a chance. But right now, the way that they're playing and their scheme, it's not going to happen for them.
Right.
Another team that I honestly don't think that that started out great in the season, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere, is the Cardinals. The way that they have been playing lately, I mean, granted, they just beat the Cowboys, but you look at their last 6 games.
I mean, if they get D-Hop back for the playoffs, that's a game changer.
It is a game changer, but that's a big if.
I'm pretty sure he's supposed to come back for the playoff. Like I think it's like the same situation as like Derrick Henry. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to come back.
I'm sure he is, but like to right away just throw him in there. Granted, D-Hop is one of the best receivers in the league, top 3 receivers in the league.
Say, you could just throw him in there with fucking 40 different QBs and he put up numbers.
No, yeah, I totally agree. He's up there with receivers. He's easily top 3 receiver every single year. But just the way the Cardinals, like, one, their defense is beat up. They have a good secondary, but their front 7 is beat up. Let's be honest, it is. Their run game, their running backs are beat up. James Conner, he's not 100%. James Conner was their number 1 running back on their team. He had 10 plus touchdowns already this season. You take that away, you don't even know if you're going to get D-Hop at 100%. You're getting him back.
But if you get him back, though, just his presence alone makes a difference.
Totally does. It totally does.
Like, I had to explain this to somebody with like even like the Bears, for example. Like the Bears don't have the greatest offense, but if Allen Robinson is who they say he is, and he's the number 1 guy on that team, just his presence alone being there and giving somewhat of an effort is going to make a difference. It brings off attention from other people and it gives other people opportunities.
Yeah.
D-Hop is going to draw double coverage.
Yeah, he's going to draw double coverage, but who's going to be that person that steps forward and is like, okay, well, now I'm carrying this offense. So that way D-Hop doesn't have to. So that way we can go far into the playoffs. Again, this is a longer season.
Has been balling.
Zach Ertz has been balling.
AJ Green hasn't played bad, but I mean he's playing well enough.
AJ Green is the same AJ Green that he left Cincinnati as.
Yeah, that's fine though, but he's still able to make plays. He's still fast enough to where you have to put a person on him because he will go over the top.
He will.
Right. So then you have Kurt too, who is also fast, who needs to be guarded. And then I don't even know who's the other dude. His last name Wesley, the dude who he had like 2 touchdowns last week against the Cowboys.
All I know is that Isabel guy or Isabelli or whatever his name is.
Andy Isabella.
Yeah, Andy Isabella. Yeah.
I mean, he's a beast too. I mean, they got hella options. So
they do.
Just to bring D-Hop back, and you have all these other options. Like, sure, your run game isn't the best, and James Conner might not be 100%, but I feel like with what they bring to the table, receiver-wise, is good enough with the way that they run their offense and having Kyler Murray as a threat to run the ball. Because Kyler Murray will rush for over 100 yards himself.
Yeah, he will.
So to not have a run game, you still have to respect that run because he'll take off with the ball. So you can't fully commit to picking up their receivers because Kyler Murray will just take off. And who's gonna catch him on their line? Nobody.
Right.
He was too fast.
Right. I mean, it's been done already, this season. There has been teams to stop him. There has been teams to stop the receivers, to stop the run game, to put up numbers on their defense. It's just a matter of who's going to do it. And honestly, there's 4 teams in the NFC that probably will do it.
Right. But I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to go deep in the playoffs, but I'm saying they're definitely somebody to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can see them.
I don't think that they're going to just go down without a fight. Like, I like the 49ers and the Eagles are clearly the ones who are going in there, and they probably don't have any business going in there. But like, who else out of the NFC is going to go?
Right.
The NFC doesn't have a lot of good teams. They got a lot of teams that need pieces still to even compete. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, and like that's their one missing piece is they just need a QB.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Eagles down there just need a QB. The Saints just need a QB. You know what I mean?
No, the Eagles got their QB, man. They need other people. They do.
Jalen
Hurts, believe it or not.
Devontae Smith on my fantasy football team, bro. And I would like tune into the Eagles games sometimes, and I'm watching Jalen Hurts throw the ball, and it just doesn't look good. Like, it's not accurate. He waits too long to throw the deep ball.
Yeah.
Like, he'll sit in the pocket instead of just letting it rip. He'll sit in the pocket and wait for the guy to get deep and then throw the ball. And then it's like a contested catch instead of just throwing the ball and letting the guy run to it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, unless he can learn to get rid of that, but like, he's played good games, don't get me wrong, but his issues with accuracy, I feel like, are his downfall.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he can get that right, then sure, but
I see that, but like, I don't know, man. I still see Jalen Hurts as a good, good quarterback. He's very similar in play style to Lamar Jackson. His play style is going to win you games. It's not going to take you far. Let's be honest. It's not going to win that division against the Cowboys. Let's be honest.
Better than Jalen Hurts. I don't even think that's comparable, really.
It is comparable because of their stats. Their stats are literally identical.
This season?
Overall, since Jalen Hurts has been in the league.
I don't think so.
They have. I mean, you can look it up yourself. Yeah. They
have.
I
don't think so.
They have. It's literally been hand in hand. Hand in hand.
About that, bro.
It has. But Jalen Hurts, he's not a bad quarterback. I feel like he just needs some more time to learn, some more time to develop. He also needs somebody besides Devontae Smith to throw to.
Yeah.
He has nobody else. The run game is trash, so they can't really rely on the run game.
Jalen Reagor isn't bad, though.
He's not bad, but he's not a top 25 receiver, a top 30 receiver, if we're being honest. So, Jalen Hurts does need, people around him. They need a better O-line, like they obviously need a better defense because their defense is not doing it for them. So, they're, the Eagles are just missing so many pieces, but the one piece that they do have right is the quarterback. I feel like they can build around Jalen Hurts if they do it the right way,
Yeah.
But as far as the 49ers, they're not going far. They're getting eliminated first round. Same with the Eagles. 49ers, for some reason, again, they're one of those teams that they started off hot, but they're just not going to go anywhere, honestly. They're not. And that is partially due to injuries this year. You had a couple games without Garoppolo. You have a whole bunch of games without Mostert, whatever the freaking name is.
The 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt every single fucking year.
Yes.
That's his issue. Is like he can't stay on the field, and that's why the 49ers can't commit to him. And that's why they drafted Trey Lance.
Yeah. They're they're for sure getting rid of Garoppolo.
Right. So I feel like as a 49ers, not me as a 49ers fan, because I don't like the 49ers. If you're a 49ers fan and the 49ers are going into like a playoff run or something like that, that Jimmy Garoppolo probably isn't going to be available because he stays hurt.
Right. And that's the thing. I feel like that's going to be the reason why they don't make it far is because of Jimmy Garoppolo. They have the talent. They have a good defense. They have good players on the offense. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, you got George Kittle. You have a plethora of running backs if they would just stay healthy.
Yeah.
They have a good O-line, but it's just, okay, now can we get all of them to play together at the same time?
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like the 49ers would have been up there. Granted, they still would have been in the wild card seating just because that division is the toughest division in all of NFL. But they're still going to be up there. You know, they're going to be in that 5 or 6 spot, and they could surprise somebody and beat one of the top teams if they would just be healthy.
Yeah, I mean, if they're healthy, but like if you take like when Trey Lance plays quarterback for them, it's like he doesn't see George Kittle, and like to me, Deebo Samuel and George Kittle, with the exception like Elijah Mitchell is like up and coming. He seems like he's one of the best players on their offense right now, besides like Deebo Samuel. But like Trey Lance doesn't include George Kittle, and I feel like that's where the downfall is in their offense, because when Garoppolo's out there, he throws it to everybody. He can spread the ball around. Like they can run whatever plays they want to, but Trey Lance is just like, obviously he's a rookie still, and he's probably not fully comfortable in the offense, but it just seems like he does it. Like George Kittle's one of your best players on the team. Like I feel like you have to include him, because if you're not, then you're just like hurting yourself.
Right. No, I totally agree. Now, what do you think about the Bucs? Do you think the Bucs can make another run?
Honestly, I feel like anything is possible because they have fucking Tom Brady.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, but I mean, from what they've shown, no. But I feel like when the playoffs come, Tom Brady football teams just play different.
Yeah, he's different. Yeah.
They just seem like they're more ready than everybody else. Yeah. They've done their homework. Tom Brady just like knows how to win the games.
Yep.
Whether it's like he almost takes control of the fucking defenses as well, and it's like they just play better because they know they have Tom Brady on their team and they don't have much to worry about. Right. So I mean, it's hard to tell, but like them losing Godwin and then Antonio Brown wiling out just seems like that whole story is like a whole different thing. There's like a bunch of different narratives, but like he was wild when he walked off that field. That shit was crazy. But like them losing those guys is like a significant difference, because like you just lost a lot of firepower. So then like now you have to now you're depending on Mike Evans as your number one. And then you have Scotty Miller and Rashad Perryman.
Yeah.
Like those are your guys you got to go to. Yeah. I mean, but Tom Brady's made worse people look better, but it's like it just doesn't seem likely. But I feel like I could never count out a Tom Brady football team.
Never. And I honestly think it's going to come down to like, you know, the final minute of whoever they're playing, like one of the top teams that they're playing. Tom Brady's going to end up just winning the game.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can see the Bucs and the Packers in the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Every game they play in, I feel like will be competitive.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
If it isn't, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Especially with the way that they played against the Jets this past week.
Yeah, that game was freaking crazy. I was like, I looked at like halftime. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. You know, but he won the game.
The dude I was playing against in fantasy football, he had the Bucs defense, so I wasn't even mad. I was like, let's go.
Can't be. But okay, so who do you have coming out of the AFC?
To be honest, the Bengals.
You have the Bengals coming out, really?
I have the Bengals coming out of the AFC.
Okay.
I feel like with the way that they're playing football right now, they are the best team in the AFC.
Right.
And if they can keep that up, then I'm confident that the Bengals will come out. Okay. If they don't and they fucking shit the bed, then I feel like it's going to be either the Chiefs and the Chiefs or
that's the thing. Who?
The Patriots.
The Patriots. That's a bold statement.
I mean, I'm just saying, just based off of experience.
Right.
Because Belichick knows how to coach. They have a bunch of players on their team who have playoff experience,
Mhm.
Super Bowl experience, and Mac Jones has been sitting underneath them guys all season.
Yeah. And
Sitting
Mac Jones,
and it seems like they're all having fun
yep.
playing football right now. So it just makes sense to me that that could be a possibility. So like of the teams that are on there, those are the teams that I see coming out, with the Bengals having the best chance the way that they're playing right now.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. The Patriot, with the Patriots, Mac Jones, he's playing the same play style as Tom Brady. Yeah. Granted, it's the same system. Nothing really has changed, but he's doing exactly what Tom Brady did. He's there to win the game. He's not making mistakes. He's not making, for him being a rookie, he's honestly like put himself above other rookie quarterbacks like throughout history, honestly. Besides even Patrick Mahomes, not even his rookie year, he didn't even play. But you look at everybody else in the league today, nobody has done what Mac Jones is really doing. Mac Jones isn't losing you games. If they're losing a game, it's because they literally just got outplayed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they're losing a game, it's because they legitimately got beat. But like when you like Mac Jones has been playing good enough football to where like he's not gonna lose you that game.
He's not. And I could agree with you that they can surprise a lot of people and make it out of the AFC, and go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just because they're playing good, clean football. And that's the Patriot way. Good, clean football. The Bengals, I could definitely see them coming out of the AFC. Like we already said, they're honestly one of the best, well-balanced teams in that conference.
Yeah.
They have a good to decent defense.
Yeah, I was gonna say their defense is definitely like the sus part of the team, but I feel like their defense played like decently well.
Yeah, and depending on who they're playing, they don't need their defense to, stop a team from scoring more than 10 points, because their offense is going to be able to provide 30 plus points.
Right.
If their defense could stop a team from getting 20, 25 points, more than likely they're going to win that game. Because you look at everybody else in the AFC, besides the Colts and the Patriots, nobody else has a good defense.
Yeah.
That can stop the Bengals. Especially the way that Jamar Chase is playing. There's nobody that's going to stop him in the AFC. Yeah. And I could see them coming out of the AFC, honestly. Now, as far as the NFC, this is where it gets crazy, because you have 5 teams that can surprise you and come out on the, to go to the Super Bowl for the NFC. One of them honestly isn't a surprise, and it's the Packers. The Packers have been playing phenomenal all season. Aaron Rodgers, he's a candidate for MVP. I personally don't think he's going to win the MVP, but he is a candidate for MVP, and he's just balling right now. The Rams are so inconsistent, but they can come out just because of that offense and that defense.
Yeah.
That defense.
But I feel like they're inconsistent, though.
They are.
In part of, like, Matt Stafford sometimes doesn't play well. And the fact that they don't really have a running game makes it worse for them. Because if Matt Stafford isn't playing well, you can't depend on anything else.
Right. And that's the thing for the Rams. You need to make sure that Matt Stafford plays well in order for you to come out on top.
Right.
Especially when you're going up against the Packers, the Bucks, the Cowboys, the Cardinals. Yeah. You need your quarterback to give you 300 plus yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Going up against those teams.
The NFC is definitely like the side where it's like up in the air.
It is.
I feel like the Packers are clearly the better team out of all the teams in the playoffs right now. But it seems like on a year-to-year basis where Green Bay is making the playoffs, they somehow fuck it up. They somehow choke.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because Aaron Rodgers, like, as a Bears fan, I hate to fucking say it. And, like, every single time I talk about the Packers, I'm like, as a fucking Bears fan, because, like, they've been beating our ass for, like, the past fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, Aaron Rodgers is, like, one of the greatest quarterbacks we've seen play.
Yeah.
So, it, like, for him to do what he does in the playoffs, it just, like, doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's not like he plays bad by himself, but it just seems like he doesn't do the same things in the playoffs that he does in the regular season.
Right.
He has that ability to just take a game over and just like win, like just win. And like, there's no doubt that the Packers are going to win this game.
Right. And that's honestly the thing. Like we said, you know, anybody could come out on top in the NFC because of that, because of the Packers history where they choke in, whether it's the conference game or divisional round, you know, they somehow do choke. But with everybody else, it's like, okay, we're honestly just gonna sit back eating our fucking popcorn and be like, okay, I want to see who out of these Goliaths is gonna come out on top.
Right.
You know, there's so many teams in the NFC in the playoffs that wouldn't be a surprise, honestly, if they made it to the Super Bowl. It just wouldn't be a surprise.
The only team that it wouldn't be a surprise is the Packers, I feel like. The other teams, I feel like all the other teams have shown inconsistencies throughout the season.
Yeah.
Aside from like the Cardinals, because Kyler Murray sat out for a few weeks. So like I feel like that's where like a few of their losses came, and like they had to get back their like game going once he came back from injury. But like other than that, like we've seen inconsistencies of the Cowboys, the Bucks, the Rams. Like we've watched these teams struggle, even though they have great records. We've watched them have to like dig deep to win games.
Yeah. Where it comes down to the wire.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is like good in a sense, but like for the Cowboys, they had the easiest schedule in the NFL this year.
They did.
So for you guys, like you guys should honestly be undefeated with the schedule that you guys had, because it was just like it was that easy. Like they put it on a platter for you guys to go and be the first team in this 18-week season to be undefeated, and
couldn't pull it out.
Like it was literally the easiest schedule you could have asked for. Your guys' division is probably one of the worst in football, and it's still, you guys still managed to fuck it up.
Hey, to be fair, week 1 they play the Bucks, they played the Chiefs, they played the Cardinals. That's 3 losses right there.
Yeah.
Okay, the other 2 losses were surprises.
They were also very winnable games.
They were. I'm not gonna lie, they were. The Bucks game they lost by 2. The Chiefs game, I think they only lost by 8. And then recently with the Cardinals, they only lost by 3.
Yeah, those were your only tests during the season.
Yeah. Realistically, yeah.
And outside of that, you guys still have 2 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're there. They're there. They're there.
Dude, I'm honestly just waiting for the playoffs to start. I can't wait. It's gonna be so exciting. It's honestly gonna be one of the playoff years for the ages. Honestly, it's gonna be a fun one.
Exciting because it seems like there's gonna be a lot of good football. Definitely. Just like it has it's been all season pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you again for watching another episode of The Couch. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And be sure to subscribe and like our videos on YouTube. Don't forget, we are also on Spotify now. So if you can't watch us on YouTube, let's say while you're driving, be sure to at least listen to us on Spotify and get your daily bullshit talk with us. All right, well, take it easy, everybody. See you next time.